Hello Cherries fans and welcome to this match preview of AFC Bournemouth versus Spurs. You're watching Back of the Net, my name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And we understand on YouTube you probably get about 20 seconds to make an impression. So if you're new here, we're Back of the Net. We're the home of AFC Bournemouth content online with matchday vlogs, interviews, features, all that good business. New fresh content every day. And Spurs fans, we hate VAR as well. Plus, in a short while, we're going to be telling you how to get a free drink. So there's a reason to do a number of things.
Click that like button. That's the first thing you do. Really appreciate that. And then click the subscribe as well, because as you just said, mate, loads of content. So keep up to date with it. And hit the notification bell as well, because that will let you know when we have got a video out. So yeah, really appreciate that. Keep doing it, because everyone's liking the content at the moment, I think. So it's good stuff.
They really are. So we welcome a toothless Spurs to face a cautious Cherries. It's going to be an overcast and dismal day down at Vitality tomorrow. It's gorgeous today. If only that could be the same tomorrow. Hopefully on and off the pitch for the team in red and black. Both sets of supporters are getting a little bit twitchy about their side's lack of attacking intent. Hopefully Bournemouth will be notching, because it seems a while since we've scored at Vitality Stadium. Now, quick tip, Spurs fans, if you can, if you're catching the train down, don't get off at Bournemouth Station, get off one stop before at Folkestone Station. Look, there's a pub directly opposite called The Bell, but just next to that, a few doors down, is a sports memorabilia shop called In Off the Far Post. It's about 30 seconds away, and there's so much stuff in there, including old Spurs shirts, frame shirts, programs, collectibles, and a whole lot more. I just thought I'd say that because last time we went in, they had loads of stuff in there.
They had loads. I do actually remember thinking they had quite a lot of Tottenham, obviously one of the bigger clubs in the Premier League. So there was quite a lot there in terms of shirts. And I remember there was a whole section of programs and things like that. So yeah, definitely check it out. And and it's, to be fair, you get off the train, it's there, and then the Bell's next to it. So happy days.
So onto the football though, and Gary O'Neill, he's now suffered 2 defeats in his last 2 games without seeing his side score a goal. Against Southampton, the only shot that really tested the keeper was that long ranger from Philip Billing, and on Monday night, the West Ham keeper wasn't really troubled. There was an easy save from Dom Solanke towards the end of the first half, but that was about it. But besides the defeat and some talking points, the bad news is that we did lose a couple of players during that West Ham game. But how are they? Later on, we're going to be finding out exactly what's going on. So what can we expect on this preview today? We're going to give our honest thoughts on Spurs, the team, the manager, the fans, and much more.
We'll take in their thoughts on us, see what they think of little old Bournemouth. And are they another team that automatically think Bournemouth are going down?
Probably. We'll also get the injury updates on Neto, Solanke, and also the Spurs team news as well.
And I'll try and do my very best to predict both sides. I think I've only got 1 11 out of 11 this season. That was sadly Southampton. Getting a few 10s, but hopefully I can get this one bang on.
And look, both sides haven't had the best of weeks so far. VAR has come to the fore. It was us on Monday and Spurs in the Champions League on Wednesday. So we need cheering up. And you know how we're going to cheer you up? With a free one of these. Free drink. Free drink. You heard it here right. Spurs fans, Bournemouth fans. This show is brought to you by the Greene King season ticket app. And look, there are plenty of Greene King pubs up and down the country, and they are regarded as the home of pub sport, and they're an ideal place to have a drink and some food before the game. And there's an app that they can download, Tom. It's called the Season Ticket app. Just type in Greene King. You can see the phone there on screen, shows you the exact process. And when you download the Season Ticket app, Tom, they get a load of benefits, don't they? Loads.
They do. They get 10% off loads of range of drinks, to be honest. 1 hour before, during, and after any of the games. So,
wow.
You're watching a game, you can have one before it, you can have it at half time, you can
That's
have it.
decent.
Yeah, so yeah, brilliant. You can do the booking functionality on there as well, can't you?
Yeah.
You can so make sure you secure a table or whatever you want to do there. A few instant prize games on there as well, and we might, if you just bear with us. We're Back of the Net, which BOTN.
Yeah.
Whack that in the code. There's your free drink.
Yeah, so when you sign up, just in the promotional code, just put in BOTN. When you've all signed up, All you got to do is go into the offers section and you'll find the offers in there, including a free welcome drink. It could be an alcoholic beverage, it can be a soft drink, but it's on us. So thank you for downloading it. Also, there'll be other offers that drop as well, including one of the ones I had recently, £5 off any £15 spend, which is pretty good if you're getting some food in. So how's it free? All you need to do is go to your app store for whatever mobile you use, search Greene King season ticket app. If you can't make it to a game, make it to a Greene King sports pub. They're your home of pub sport.
It's where the fans go.
So then on to our thoughts on Tottenham Hotspur. They come to Dean Court on the back of 2 defeats in the league, and then of course we would have witnessed on Wednesday another VAR debacle that saw Harry Kane's late winner chalked off, and as it was a 1-1. It was a Sporting Lisbon they were up against, and I mean, oh mate, yeah. I feel for Spurs. I mean, it's all these lines that are being drawn, and it's so hard.
It just seems madness, doesn't it? I know there are some people that say, you know, the right decision was made by the laws of the game and all that stuff, and fair enough. But me personally, especially as a match-going fan, just don't get it. It takes the joy out of it.
If it takes that long, it took 4 minutes. If it takes that long, I thought the whole point of VAR was, you know, you're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking side. If it takes 4 minutes, surely to God, just call it. They
can't on 1 minute say it's clear, it's about clear and obvious error, and then take 4 minutes on a decision, because as soon as you take longer than 30 seconds, it's not clear and obvious, is it? So I think these lines and this rubbish, I think if you want to look at it again, because it's tight, fine, but look at it again for maximum 30 seconds. If you're not sure, go with the on-field decision. Yeah. But yeah, I do feel for him in that sense. It was a horrible one, and so we both go into it hating VAR. So I want to come out on top of this one. Hopefully, we just won't even get it involved.
And one of the people that was jumping up and down on the touchline, of course, is their manager, Antonio Conte. He's a manager that I believe you said, Tom, that you would quite like to go out for a pint with. You quite like the guy.
Did I?
I think you did.
Yeah, no. Or
a glass of vino. I think that's more his style, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I just think he's a winner. I just think there's been a few things this week I've heard on kind of TalkSport and on Twitter and things. A few rumblings of Tottenham fans because the football's not very good, but they should have known that when they got him. He's just a winner. It's not going to be the most attacking football in the world. It's not going to be what they have with Poch, but what you're probably more likely to get is one, silverware, which they're crying out for, and also just more results and better finishes. So I mean, I don't want to say too much, because that means I'm saying with the football we've been playing and the football Conte tends to play, it probably won't be a great game. But if they're ever going to open up a little bit, it'll probably be against a team like Bournemouth. But yeah, they're pragmatic, they're hard to break down, but they get results, and that's what they're all about. And they had a good window as well, mate. Yeah, they did. So talk me through their summer, mate, because they made a number of signings, a couple of which were from fellow Premier League sides. Yeah, well, they got Jed Spence, didn't they, from Forest, who obviously we saw up close and personal last season in the Championship, and was probably, one of the best kind of right fullback, right wing back in the league. He hasn't really featured, but I do wonder if that's just bedding him in a little bit. They've got a few options there, but we know he's someone for the future, maybe. Obviously, Richarlison was quite a headline signing that they got in from Everton, who is out of this game with an injury, but he gives them a little bit more. They're so reliant on Kane and Son at times. I think bringing in Kulusevski like they did just before, and now bringing in Richarlison just lightens the load on them to a little bit. Fortunately for us, both of them players that I mentioned are out, so it means they are a bit more reliant on them. But yeah, Perisic as well, we all know his experience, and sadly we know he contributed in knocking England out for Croatia in 2018, wasn't it? And Basuma as well, who's starting to feature a little bit more now, and he was one of them players that was playing for Brighton, so seen as a lesser team. I always thought it ain't going to be long. It ain't going to be long till he gets a big club, and they've managed to get him, mate. And they got Scummer in and Fraser Forster, but he's just sat on the bench. Longley, so yeah, they've done well, mate. And they've just added to that squad a little bit, because I think a lot of people have said about Tottenham, good 11. Not so sure about the bench, but when everyone's fit now, they definitely look a little bit stronger. And what about any departures? Were there any significant departures in the summer as well in their last window? Well, from a Bournemouth perspective, mate, Cameron Carter-Vickers. Of course. Yeah, he went to Celtic, didn't he? And I think they love him there, actually, at Celtic, which doesn't surprise me. For any Tottenham fans watching, we had him in the Championship when we lost in the playoffs. And he probably wasn't fit till about after Christmas, was he? So we didn't see him the whole first half of the season. The second half of the season, he come in and he was really good. He was. And you probably felt like he's too good for the Championship. It was maybe just the pace that you thought in the Premier League, but we wouldn't have been. I think a lot of fans would have taken him.
Yeah.
But I think Celtic was a good move for him. But yeah, he's moved on. I think Bergwijn went as well to Ajax, didn't he? Which is probably the right move. Didn't really happen for him at Tottenham. And Dombele's gone. Lo Celso, Reguilon. So yeah, a few's gone. But as you say, the kind of backup players that went, they've been replaced by better squad players, in my opinion. So they've definitely strengthened.
So talk me through their season, mate, 'cause they started off pretty strongly, didn't they? I think they played our South Coast rivals, winning 4-1, and then what looked a reasonable point against Chelsea. But they've started pretty strongly, haven't they?
Yeah, I think after that Southampton win, the Chelsea game I remember watching, and Chelsea battered them, and they got a point. And then I think you and I watched the Wolves game, because I believe it was an early kickoff. And Wolves played really well, and Tottenham got lucky there. And that says it all about Conte's style. There was 2 games there, didn't play very well. They got 4 points, and that's what I'm saying about he is a winner. Beat Forest, didn't they? They got the point at West Ham. Beat Fulham. So when you look at it, beat Marseille in the Champions League. Battered Leicester. I think that was when we were in Newcastle actually, and I remember that was the late game. And Leicester, you thought, bloody hell, Leicester are going from it, doing really well. But on the counter-attack, Tottenham were deadly. And then later on...
The first time they lost was actually the North London derby, I think.
Was that the... Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think they lost in the Champions League, didn't they? But in the league.
Yes,
yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. And that game, another one that was, not at 3 o'clock, so I managed to watch it. And Arsenal were better than them on the day. But they've probably tailed off a little bit since then. They got a few results, beat Everton. But as we said earlier in the show, mate, the Newcastle and United defeats, it didn't look good. And then Lisbon, yes, they had that controversial one at the end, but still don't look quite right at the moment. But there's going to be little bumps in the road for every team. And yeah, I still think they don't need to worry too much. Conte is a winner and he'll sort them out.
So that leaves the Premier League table looking like this at the moment then. So Spurs, as you can see there, in 3rd place. A win for them would be absolutely massive, of course. Yeah. Bournemouth, we're looking over our shoulder somewhat. We are in 14th, but we are only 4 points clear of the drop zone. Interesting little factoid for you, mate. Just 19 points separate the team at the top from the team at the bottom, which is the smallest gap at this stage of a season since the 2008-9 campaign.
Yeah, it does surprise me a little bit, but then having said that, Arsenal are top, and then I look at the last few years and Liverpool and City have kind of felt like they've ran away with it a little bit, so that's maybe why. But yeah, you look at that league table and we say about a blip with Tottenham, 3rd. They're still 3rd, they're still 3 points off the great Manchester City and Haaland, so they can't be that bad. So yeah, it will be a difficult one, mate.
Okay, in terms of head-to-head, you can see it on screen now. It doesn't look pretty, does it? Our only win against them came in 2019. Even then, they had about 9 men on the pitch.
And we scored last-minute header.
Before that, it was back in 1957. So we haven't played each other too often. Now,
do you remember that game in 57?
Weirdly
good game. We were good then. Good squad.
Talk to me about which was the game that Travers had his wonder game. Was that the 1-0 win, or was that the 0-0?
God, was that the? I think it was the one. Was that the 1-0 win?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I really can't remember. He did keep a clean sheet, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean we didn't lose it, put it that way.
Yeah, no, but I think it might have been the. Oh, was it the one? That's going to annoy me now a little bit. I think it might have been the 1-0 win actually. Yeah, because it was near the end of the season. And that was it was our last home game.
And they featured him massively on Match of the Day.
I think it was, and then we went to Palace on the last day. Yeah. I believe that's right. But yeah,
it wouldn't have been in 2016. No, that's probably too early.
Definitely not. But yeah, we've had a few. I remember grinding out a point there when we first went up to the Premier League. It might be the 2nd season, I think, maybe the 1st. We drew a 0-0. And we've done all right, but most of the time. But fortunately for me, I think on the road we've really struggled. I think we've lost every time.
Yeah, we have.
But at home we've grinded out a few little results. But as you say, mate, they worked out of 9 men with about over half an hour to go.
And our last game against them, VAR came to the fore twice.
That was COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, so do you remember that? So we scored towards the end of the game. Well, Callum Wilson thought he scored, ended up brushing off Josh King's arm or something. But also Harry Kane thought he was getting a certain penalty after a push in the back by Josh King. But that went to VAR as well, and that was ruled not a penalty as well.
I do vaguely remember thinking that was because obviously we went down that season, and that game felt like we ain't going to get nothing, and then the more the game went on, you thought we could here, we done all right. But yeah, as you say, VAR struck again, and we didn't, and we ultimately went down. But we showed we could compete with them at that point anyway.
So our home record against Spurs in the league, not particularly good. 1-1, drawn 2, lost 2, but in all competitions we've won 2, drawn 2, lost 7. Of course, one of those wins coming years and years and years and years and years ago.
By the way, if you watch that live in 1957, drop a comment. Drop a comment. I'd love that. There's got to be someone. There's got to be someone.
There will
Don't
be.
mention any names, just out of order.
Yeah. Harsh. Right, now time to find some media takes, especially from their lot on us. And let's see what they think about this fixture. Who do they think is going to win? What do they think the result's going to be? We'll start off with Ben and Sim from We Are Tottenham TV.
I think it's going to be a really tight game, and I think we will nick it. Hopefully, we can put in a better display than we have done in the previous weeks of the Premier League. But with the injuries that we've got now, we're finding it hard to score goals at the moment. So hopefully we can keep a clean sheet and just nick a goal.
Yeah, I can see it being a difficult game with Bournemouth kind of having a bit of a renaissance, although they have lost their last 2 games. So
without scoring as well.
Yeah, so I can see it, them having trouble getting goals against us. But I think with our injuries, the stretch squad, the lack of attacking options, I think it's going to be a bit of a battle. So I think we're just going to scrape it 1-0.
If we're not winning that, we have to really look at ourselves and go, what's going on at Spurs right now? I'm expecting a win. I'm expecting a 2-1, maybe even a 3-1 win. And I'm expecting to see a performance that we deserve and that we need and that must happen, because Bournemouth are there to be beaten. We've struggled when it's the top 6, as everyone's been highlighting this season. But I think Bournemouth are very much there to be beaten. And let's go and let's beat them. Let's do it. 3-1 Spurs. Let's do it.
Some confident score predictions there. All the links for the channels that we have used the clips from can be seen in the description below. Interesting, right? I've got this graphic, mate. It looks very confusing, right? These are the zones of control, right? Yeah. So the team in question, so our team, that will be in blue, and then we've got the opposition in red. Okay, so these are the zones on the pitch where teams are touching the ball more than their opponents in open play.
Yeah, it's be fun.
So the zones labelled in blue, that means they gain more than 55% of the total touches, whereas in red, it means the opposing team got 55%, where the others in grey are uncontested. So that's kind of almost 50-50, not quite split. We do very well in our own penalty box, mate.
Yeah, that's good to see. It will be interesting, obviously, we come on to the team news later, but maybe Neto's had a big part of that in our goal as well, kind of his distribution. But yeah, we do like to try and play with the back and a few little sideways passes in there. But that's all right.
But check out Spurs though as well. They are not that different.
No, that's interesting. But that's what I briefly said it earlier in the show. It does scream kind of 2 teams that will try and nick a 1-0.
Play on the counter attack.
Yeah, and play on the counter. But if you're Tottenham, surely you open up a little bit against us. I hope they do anyway, because I don't want them to. I like them to give us something on the counter attack.
They're happy for other teams to have the ball, by the looks of it. So this could be a really dull affair, or it could be very entertaining.
Which is probably why they've struggled against kind of the bigger boys this season, is because they've let them have too much of the ball and they can hurt you. Whereas when they've let kind of the lesser sides have the ball, they know they can catch them on the counter attack and they can be defensively solid. So yeah, interesting. But that doesn't surprise me of Conte. He's very pragmatic.
Right, should we get some team news?
Yeah, go on then.
Right, so Gary O'Neill did his press conference yesterday. That's Thursday at Dean Court. Of course, Lloyd Kelly and David Brooks are out, but he did reveal that Neto out for the long term, mate. Ahead of that, I mean, I don't know particularly what happened at the London Stadium, but he pulled up, and he's been doing that frequently actually in a couple of matches, usually to get notes on, but this time it looks like...
Yeah, well, I think Tiggs mentioned it on the second look, I think, that he's gone down. You think it's just a clever ploy to get a note on because that's what we've done, but maybe it was just we just did because he was down, because if he keeps going down, that makes you think, I wonder if he's got an ongoing issue that he's then made worse.
Hamstring injury by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But Dom Solanke also, when he went through on goal, had a shot, and I think at that moment was where he pulled something. Not sure what, but he kind of hobbled off the pitch. Kiefer Moore replaced him. But there's good news. Dominic Solanke's a lot better than expected, so he's recovered well. As a result of that, he said he's hopeful of him playing, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm just thinking, so with Neto out, Travers will go in goal.
Yeah.
Will Dennis can he be
not being registered, has he? He has not been registered in the squad. So I remember when we spoke about it a while back, we were talking about who's going to miss out of the squad.
Yeah.
Because obviously the only ones that you don't have to register are if they're under 21. So we knew James Hill was fine, didn't need to be registered. Will Dennis is over 21 by a few years, I think now. So it was kind of, we felt like it would probably be either Brooks or Will Dennis.
Yeah.
And he registered David Brooks, which now looks a little bit surprising, but he did do his hamstring, which we weren't aware of. So Will Dennis is not registered, which means we have to put someone under 21 as the backup keeper. So the way I've looked at it, apparently as well, I think Jacob Tanner said on the from the Echo that Cameron Plain's been travelling as that third keeper. So Cameron Plain will probably be the sub goalkeeper for the game. So we just got to, obviously, I mean, to be fair, in terms of experience, Will Dennis hasn't played a lot either. Then nor's Cameron Plain. We just got to hope the Travers is all right to get us through till January really. So hopefully that'll be all right. But yeah, I would have thought it'd be Plain on the bench, mate.
Okay, interesting. Okay, what about the Spurs team news as well? So we know that Richarlison, he's been out with a foot injury. I thought it was a calf injury actually, but maybe it's a foot injury, as has Christian Romero as well. Højbjerg and Kulusevski also have thigh injuries as well, but it'll be interesting to see what team they put out. Later, Tom's going to be doing his predictions of what Spurs 11 he thinks is going to go out. Star men for Spurs, I mean, you could hang your hat on a number of players, but if you had to pick a couple just to, I mean, Harry Kane.
Yeah, Harry Kane, Son, yeah, they're the two main threats, aren't they? But yeah, if you want to be a little bit more
left field.
Yeah, if you want to be a little bit more left field, I think Højbjerg, as long as he's fit, he did, as you said, he's had an injury, but he did come back in and play in the week, so he's probably okay. And I just think I don't like saying it because he was an ex-scummer, but he does keep it ticking really well, and I think he's a bit almost their glue in that midfield at times. So, and he's having a good start of the season. So yeah, you don't want to give him too much time on the ball, mate, because then he can feed these other players like your Harry Kanes and Son Heung-min.
Okay, so the referee, do you want to know who the referee is? It's Anthony Taylor. He refereed us in the 0-0 at home against Wolves.
Take it.
And you take a 0-0 against them. Right, as we carry on our housekeeping, the power is out. It's understood that Bournemouth will not play Kanye West Power for the pre-match walkout song this weekend. The decision comes after the American rapper, who legally changed his name to Ye or Ye. I mean, you're more hip, you'll know. He posted some anti-Semitic comments on his Twitter account. Also, clothing giant Adidas cut ties with him. Also, other major brands have also decided to let him go. The 45-year-old Grammy Award-winning artist is no longer going to be played at Dean Court.
Yeah.
It's an emotive discussion, isn't it? Because of what he said. And,
does it?
But with Spurs coming down as well,
fair point.
It's possibly a time just to not play it.
Yeah, I mean, does it really? In terms of take away all the kind of not go too much detail over what he said and the kind of reasonings for it, but in terms of playing his song before the game, does it really build an atmosphere?
Well, previously, Mike Botto always played that track to almost inform the supporters that you need to get into your seats.
Yeah,
and
then they actually drink to get in. Yeah.
And then they played another song when the teams ran out, but then it was dropped for about a season and no one really said anything.
No.
Apart from when our form was a bit crap and then people were saying, bring back power because we need to have. And then I think they introduced it at a night game and we got a result, so everyone was saying, it's because of Kanye Power. But I mean, is it a song that really gets us going anyway? As it's the song that's now being used for the teams coming out, where we're all clapping and cheering and singing songs anyway, do you really hear it?
Barely notice it, to be honest.
I don't think you do. The PA system seems to get drowned out by the noise of the fans anyway, which is the way it should be. So really, I don't think it's much of a big loss. And if it does upset a lot of people, then I don't think it's a bad decision. I know these kind of debates. I mean, like I said, the last time we dropped it, no one said anything. This time we're dropping it for a reason.
Yeah,
and people are now, they're putting themselves in one of two camps, i.e. you're a snowflake, you're not a snowflake, woke, not woke.
I'd kind of say I'm not in either, would you? I just don't really, I haven't really looked into it in too much detail, but as I said, mate, I don't really notice it too much. And I think now is a bit different because we haven't got an obvious song. You look at like Liverpool, You Never Walk Alone. There's loads of teams that have. We don't have one in terms of what reflects the football club and a song that's close to our heart. So to me, I just wait for the Nonny chant. Yeah. The Nonny chant's the one now. So we have that going now, and I enjoy that, and that's the thing that I look forward to before the game. I don't even think about power, mate. So I couldn't give a toss about it. To be honest.
I think the Red Army chant. It'd be great if it could be sort of into a musical remix that crescendoed just before the referee was going to blow his whistle. I don't know.
I'll work on that, mate.
Some musical artist, but there have been suggestions of different tracks to be played, including Block Party Helicopter, of course,
Banger.
with the Matt Ton connection, bit of Air Traffic, and a few other local artists. Alex Deutsch, I think, sarcastically put Chris Panning. Never
Definitely
go
want sarcastic. What an absolute banger that is. We'll never give up. Oh, I love that song.
Must have been.
Oh, I
Must
love
have been. But yeah, I think people are very staunch in their opinions when it comes to political reasons. And like I say, does it really get the crowd going anyway? Probably not. I don't think it's the end of the world if we decide to not have it. We're going to do some predicted teams very, very shortly. But before we do so, we're going to ask you to put your predictions in the comments, as I'm really intrigued to see what you think. Let us know the score, and look, are there any people positively? But also make sure you give this like, Tom. At this point, can I ask you what your prediction is for this?
I'm gonna have to try and be a bit positive when you look at their form. So I'll hope we can maybe skank a 1-1. I'm thinking maybe potentially a set piece or something, maybe a Kiefer Moore header, and then a Harry Kane penalty to make it 1-1. But yeah, I'll obviously take a draw in this one, mate. And neither team, listen, we haven't been great of late, and we've got a few injuries, and we've lost the last couple of games. But as we've alluded to in this video, Tottenham ain't in a great place either. So if we can maybe start on the front foot, nick an early goal, put the pressure on them a little bit, make them open up, because we've talked about how compact they are. Who knows? Who knows?
Let's get predicting the teams then, shall we? Come on. Okay, so you can see them on screen. Provisionally, I've put it in a 4-2-3-1. However, you might want to change that. It is Spurs.
It is.
What are you thinking, Tom?
Go on then, we'll keep it at that.
Well, we don't have to.
No, I think I'm going to keep it like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, they're a team that don't like to attack anyway, are they? So
that's what. Yeah. Do we need to go to a 5 now? I mean, you might do, but the thing is, I think the personnel. I think at the moment, particularly with Go Nil, you can get the personnel right and not the system, because we've got a lot of players that are flexible. Your Taverniers, your Alan Smiths, Frederick, that can move around from wing back to midfield. So yeah, we'll see, but we'll stick it like that for now.
Okay, who's a goal?
Not registered. Mark Travers is back in goal.
Travers.
And listen, we're going to miss Neto, but Travers, we all know where his journey started, and it was against Tottenham at home, and we all love him, and he's got a chance now. Travers will be thinking, if I come in and do the business, Neto ain't getting back in. Big moment for him, and I'm comfortable with him in goal.
Okay, talk me through your back four.
Difficult, because I keep thinking Frederick's going to be rested. I'm not even going to bother now. I'll put Fredericks in at right back.
Are you?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to, and I think Fredericks has played at Tottenham.
Yeah, and it may be,
experience.
this maybe smacks of a certain player maybe having to do a job on someone.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Fredericks does have experience, so yeah, I would understand him playing. We'll have to stick to the normal centre off. Obviously got injuries as it is, so Mepham and Senesi at centre half. So performed decent, had a decent partnership at the moment. Left back, I'm going to play Adam Smith. So both our full-backs will be ex-Tottenham. But yeah, I'll play Smithy on that left side. As we've said, Smithy can quite comfortably move in to make it a free. And all that stuff, but yeah, I think for the experience, Fredericks and Smith will be in there. Two in front, as it always is for me, it's going to be Lerma and Lewis Cook. Don't think there's any real contention there unless there's a random injury. Them two will be in there. I would definitely go for Billing, the one in front. I think Roffo's probably breathing down his neck now as he's got fit, but yeah, I will put Billing in there. As much as a lot of people calling for Anthony and for Jay-Z, and I probably agree, I don't see it. Personally, against this opposition, I'm going to go. You can go either side, but I'm going to go Tavernier and Christie. Yeah, we'll go Tavernier off the left and Christie off the. Just because Tavernier can quite comfortably go into a wing back role and Smithy tuck in if needs be.
Does their lack of end product worry you though? I want to see. I know that Christie skanked that goal against Leicester, but I want to see those two having shots on target, or shots at least.
They both work their absolute nuts off. They both technically decent footballers. Both do a lot of good stuff, but end product is really not there. We haven't seen it at all with Tavernier. Christie's nice skank one, as you say, but yeah, we definitely need it at some point. Leaning the line's actually difficult. I'm going to go with Kiefer Moore. I'm
going to go Dom Solanke, but I'm going to go with you. But I'm saying Dom Solanke.
Like you say, because of what you said, it wouldn't shock me. I have a feeling that because it hasn't even been a week, that if he's not 100, there's no way he could be 100%. Like he might be 80, because he might have recovered really well. But I just think if there's one game you're going to leave him out of, it's probably this one, because you've got Everton and Leeds to come that are more important in terms of league position. I just think he might start with Moore, and hopefully Dom's available on the bench, but he might start with Moore and just think, you know what, let's be a little bit more direct. Let's try and get Moore to rough up kind of Eric Dyer, whoever's there, and let's go a bit more direct against Tottenham. Who knows? But that's what I'm going to do, mate.
Okay, on to Spurs then.
Yeah.
Talk me through your side, mate. What you're going to go for. I'm really intrigued to see who you're going to play and to see which of their starlets are going to be performing for them, because look, they've got stars littered all over their pitch as well, but also some hard workers as well that sort of maybe go under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, well, they always tend to go for it at the back. They've kind of recently gone to a 3-5-2, but which I'm going to stick with, and maybe that's because of some of the injuries they've got. No Kulusevski, no Richarlison. They started the season with more of a 3-4-3, but yeah, I'm going to go for that 3-5-2. Hugo Lloris is going to be in goal, which doesn't bother me. I think he's the most overrated keeper in the league, and that is going to jinx me in it. You know it is now.
He's going to score.
I've never seen a guy make so many mistakes and get regarded as world class all the time. But there you go. He's obviously won a World Cup and stuff for a reason, I suppose. Back three, Romero on that right side. I was going to go Sanchez, but Romero coming back in the week made me think he's back fit. Bit of a concern for me, because I think he's their best defender, and I thought he was going to be out. There you go. Eric Dyer at the heart of it.
Should have scored a header, by the way. He's a goal threat as well, Eric Dyer, isn't he?
He is, and now he's knocking on that England door, and he got a call up in the last one, so he really needs to perform from now to the World Cup to get in there. And I think he's someone that Southgate trusted a free. On the left side, I'm going to go for Ben Davies. I can never work out if it's Davies or Davis, because they've had.
It's with an E.
It's with an E, but then I heard a thing. Tottenham fans let us know that apparently it's with an E, but because he's Welsh, it's still pronounced Davis.
Really?
It's what I've heard. But anyway, it is definitely with an E, and they've played Longley a little bit on that left side, but I don't think he's been great. I think Ben's going to come back in.
Yeah. Okay.
Sitting deep, I'm going to go for Bissouma.
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, big signing. He started to come in and play some more regular minutes for him now. So yeah, Bissouma in there, and then to the right Højbjerg, and to the left Bentancur. They've both been really good since Conte's come in, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's a strong midfield. It's not the most expressive or creative, but it's certainly an hard one to break down. So yeah, that's going to be my three in there, mate.
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean, what am I going to go for the wing backs? I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go Sessegnon on the left.
Right.
I'm going to go Sessegnon. I originally thought Perisic, and then he started in the week, and he is older Perisic. We all know that, and I just think they'll go back for Sessegnon and think, you know, Perisic's played a lot of football, and they might want him for his experience in the Champions League in the week again. So I'm going to go Sessegnon on the left, and I'm going to go for Emerson Royale. Emerson on the right, which is the player that I think we can get at. So I personally would like to see Jay-Z run at him. I don't think it's going to happen, but Emerson's probably a little bit of their weak link, but I think he's improved a little bit of late, so he'll probably on that right side.
And then I'm guessing...
Yeah, easy, mate. Son and Kane. So yeah, as I say, sometimes they play Son and Kulusevski or Richarlison off Kane in wide areas, but I think with them injuries, that's the system they're kind of going for, which gives them that's a massive threat in it up the top end of the pitch. So yeah, they'll be difficult to deal with, but
easy.
Who knows, mate? Who knows? Eh? You know, it's a football match. I always live in the thought of why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Who knows? Never know, mate. They can be got at.
Yeah.
I do think we can cause them a few problems, especially on them flanks. If Sessegnon plays, good player, but still quite raw. Emerson, not the best in the world. I think if we get a little bit wider, we've been very narrow of late. I think if we can get a bit more width, get some balls in the key for more, who knows, mate?
Yeah, make sure you give us your predictions. They're always a team that I feel that we can... I don't feel as though it's, you know, a done deal, even when you wake up in the morning. Sometimes you play Man City at home and you know that we've lost.
I feel it's one of them as well that I know it sounds so simple to say you've got to get the first goal, because obviously you always want the first goal. I feel this is one of them ones that's massive, because I think if you let Tottenham have the first goal, say they get an early goal, Conte will just snuff you out and won't concede.
If you see me outside the ground, roaming around with my little camera, say hi. We'd love to get you on the vlog. Be great to get you on. Also fan cams as well. Outside the 1910 bar, as soon as the full-time whistle goes, we rush around and get some raw, unadulterated opinions. Now, just going to quickly say about these, we're going to rattle on through a number of people fairly quickly, especially some of the younger people. we think it's great to have them on. It's great to be inclusive. However, sometimes we find as though some of the things they say, I mean, like they give their man of the match and stuff. And I think that's just, that's enough. If they want to say anything more, we'll offer them the opportunity to do so. But we won't be giving them the same amount of screen time as some of their more articulate football talkers, including this man here. Who,
I thought it was in the young. I thought it was in the young person category. Oh, this is outrageous.
You are.
But yeah, no, agree. With what you were saying, Sam. Because there's sometimes we're trying to get some new faces on as well, and they come up, they get the back of the queue, and then it's taking a bit of a while, so they might shoot on. And it's always nice to get some new people, and and just keep it running quite smoothly. So yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, and if you're a Spurs fan as well and you want to get involved, we'd love to have you on.
Absolutely.
So when you come out of the away end, turn right, walk behind the south stand, the Ted McDougall stand, keep on walking around the stadium, and then you'll see, just as a little bit of the building pokes out, there's an exit to the car park. It's opposite the 1910 bar. You'll see where it is. It says press entrance, media entrance or whatever. Look to the left, and we're standing there on the other side of the fence with probably a light. Well, we need a light.
You might need a light. It's getting a little bit darker, isn't it?
Might need a light.
When do the clocks fall better? So that's that night, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sunday
night,
morning, Saturday night. Yeah.
So looking forward to that. And on this channel, we'll have all the reaction as well, including the matchday vlog, free-for-all fan camps, second look, and all that jazz. Looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, no, let's get back at home and let's keep believing. It's been really, really difficult after Monday. I felt because of not only losing the game and it being dull, but because of the decisions, because of the controversy and all that. So let's just try our best to get the atmosphere building a bit in there.
Yeah.
Let's show the boys that we're behind them.
Yeah, massive atmosphere needed.
Huge
atmosphere needed, and it's our penultimate home league game. So let's go out with a bang.
Absolutely,
and
mate.
get try to cheer on the lads to 3 points.
Putting in a shift and getting something against Tottenham that could literally change the course of our season, or at least change it going into the World Cup.
Yeah, huge.
We've just lost 2 on the bounce. We've got 3 games left in the league. Let's just make sure we go into that World Cup in good spirits.
Mate, I've got something to tell you.
Oh God.
I'm in the North Stand and I'm sat in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Can't wait for that camera in your face.
Oh, love it.
Right.
I bloody hope we win now. God, I'm going to be a nightmare, boys.
Until tomorrow, up the Cherries.
Yep, the Cherries will never give up. We'll never look back. Like, if that's playing, I'd be buzzing.